Everyone around you is happy, so why do you still feel empty inside?
Sometimes the hardest kind of emptiness is the one you can't explain. Your life may look fine from the outside. You have people around you, you have responsibilities, plans, things to look forward to. Nothing appears obviously wrong, and yet something feels disconnected. You wake up, go through your routine, accomplish what needs to be done, and continue with your day. But the moments that should make you happy don't always feel the way you expected. You may laugh with friends and still feel distant. You may reach a goal and feel nothing for very long. You may even feel guilty for being unhappy because you know there are people who would be grateful to have your life. That guilt can make the emptiness harder to understand. But feeling empty doesn't necessarily mean your life is bad. Sometimes it means your external life and your internal experience are no longer moving in the same direction.
One reason emptiness can appear is that life can become highly functional without feeling deeply meaningful. You know what you need to do. You wake up, you work or study, you answer messages, you complete responsibilities. Then the day ends and the same cycle begins again. A routine can make life easier to manage, but it can also become automatic. You stop asking whether you're actually engaged with your life because you're too focused on keeping everything moving. This is where being busy can become misleading. Activity creates the impression of progress, but movement isn't always direction. You can spend an entire day doing useful things and still feel disconnected from what matters to you. The problem may not be that you need more excitement. It may be that you've spent so much time responding to obligations that you've stopped noticing what genuinely interests you, challenges you, or gives your attention a sense of purpose.
There's another difference worth noticing. Pleasure and meaning are not the same thing. Entertainment can make you feel good for a moment. A purchase can create excitement. A weekend can give you temporary relief. But these experiences don't necessarily create a deeper sense of fulfillment. When you constantly use stimulation to escape boredom, discomfort, or silence, you may gradually lose the ability to recognize what you actually need. The problem isn't enjoying things. Enjoyment is part of a healthy life. The problem begins when every quiet moment needs to be filled. Your phone, television, social media, work, or endless distractions can keep your attention occupied without answering the deeper question underneath it. What am I actually looking for? If you never allow yourself enough quiet to notice the answer, you can become very good at staying occupied while remaining unsure of what would genuinely make your life feel meaningful. And that uncertainty can quietly become emptiness. Sometimes emptiness comes from living according to expectations that were never truly yours. You can build a life that looks successful while quietly following a definition of success created by family, culture, friends, or social media. You choose the career that seems respectable. You pursue the relationship that looks right. You buy the things that signal progress. You reach milestones because you were taught that reaching them would make you happy. But eventually, you may realize that achieving the expected life doesn't automatically create a meaningful one. This doesn't mean those choices were wrong. It means you may have stopped asking an important question. What do I actually want? When your decisions are constantly shaped by what should make you happy, your own preferences can become difficult to hear. The emptiness may not be asking for more achievement. It may be asking you to reconnect with choices that feel genuinely yours. Another source of emptiness is emotional disconnection. You can become so accustomed to functioning that you stop noticing what you're feeling. Instead of asking whether you're disappointed, lonely, frustrated, excited, or fulfilled, you simply keep moving. This can happen when emotions are inconvenient. There are deadlines to meet, people to respond to, responsibilities to handle. So feelings get postponed. You tell yourself you'll deal with them later. But emotions that are repeatedly ignored don't necessarily disappear. They can become a vague sense that something is missing without giving you a clear explanation. This is why slowing down can feel uncomfortable. Silence removes the distractions that normally keep difficult feelings in the background. You may suddenly notice dissatisfaction you've been avoiding, relationships that no longer feel meaningful, or goals that no longer excite you. Recognizing those feelings doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It gives you information. Emptiness can sometimes be a signal that an important emotional need has been ignored for too long.
The way forward isn't necessarily to change your entire life. Sometimes the first step is simply becoming more honest about what your current life feels like. Notice which activities leave you energized and which ones consistently drain you. Pay attention to the people around whom you feel comfortable being yourself. Ask yourself when you last felt genuinely curious about something. These questions are useful because fulfillment is personal. There is no universal list of experiences that can make everyone feel connected to life. What matters is discovering what creates a sense of involvement, meaning, and presence for you. That may require reducing some forms of constant stimulation. It may mean protecting time for relationships, creativity, learning, movement, nature, or simple moments without an agenda. The goal isn't to manufacture happiness every day. A meaningful life still contains boredom, disappointment, and difficult seasons. The goal is to create a life in which your experiences feel connected to something you genuinely value, rather than simply being a sequence of tasks. Maybe the question isn't why am I unhappy when everything is going well? Maybe the better question is the life I'm living actually connected to what matters to me? You don't need to have a perfect answer today. You don't need to abandon everything, make a dramatic decision, or force yourself to feel grateful. Start by paying attention. Notice what you keep avoiding. Notice what makes you feel present. Notice which goals still matter when nobody is watching. And notice whether you're living because you chose this life or simply because you learned to keep moving. Feeling empty can be uncomfortable, but it can also become an invitation to look beneath the routine and understand yourself more honestly. If this video made you question something about your own life, leave a comment and tell us what is one thing you want to feel more connected to. Your answer might help someone else recognize what they've been feeling too. And if you want more videos exploring psychology, behavior, identity, and the choices that quietly shape our lives, subscribe to One Choice Away. Sometimes finding meaning doesn't begin with changing everything. It begins with finally paying attention.